Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we're back at it with another standard deck tech for Aether Drift Standard, and this one's a doozy. This one's called Crash and Burn, and we're back in 𝑀𝑎𝑟𝑑𝑢, but this is a very, very different deck from yesterday's 𝑀𝑎𝑟𝑑𝑢 deck. This one is control through and through. We're not giving our opponent even an inch. We're killing every single creature our opponent puts out every single turn, not letting them keep anything on the battlefield, but we're doing it while going wide with artifacts. All of our removal is in the form of artifacts, and we're doing that for a couple different reasons. Obviously, we can do the normal Pixie thing where we can bounce those artifacts back to our hand, replay them to get value, to keep the board clear. But we have another card in this deck that makes those artifact pieces of removal that much crazier, and that's Nahiri's Resolve. Being able to flicker every artifact or creature every single turn and get all of that enters the battlefield utility and abilities to trigger all over again is utterly absurd, and with some new cards from Aether Drift really pushing it to its limit, it gets insane. We're talking Demonic Junker, we're talking Boommobile, we're even talking another couple cards that I'm not going to give away just yet, but we're going to break down the deck in just a second, followed by some crazy gameplay, so stick around for that. If you haven't already, please like this video. It helps me get it out to so many more people and helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you're new, because I have a bunch of crazy deck ideas that are on the way. And catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. It's time to crash and burn, baby. So this is absolutely a Pixie deck, but this is a very, very different kind of Pixie deck. We're using red, and we're going super wide with artifacts, specifically artifacts that help us control the board in the early game. And there's a very, very good reason for pivoting to artifacts instead of the normal enchantment build. And that's for Nahiri's Resolve, a 5-mana enchantment in the colors of Boros. It gives all of our creatures +1/+0 and haste, but all of that is gravy. The real reason we're using it is at the beginning of our end step, we exile any number of non-token artifacts and or creatures we control, return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. So not only every creature we play, but every artifact we play gets to be blinked every single turn, so that at the beginning of our next turn, we get all of that ETB value off all of those artifacts and creatures. It's absolutely insane. In addition to that, Nahiri's Resolve gives us a way to avoid sorcery speed removal and board wipes, because if we're exiling all of our things our opponent wants to kill for the entirety of our opponent's turn, then it's safe from their removal and they can't touch it. The only problem typically with that sort of line is the fact that we don't leave behind any creatures for blocking. So if our opponent's playing an aggressive deck and we exile all of our stuff, we've got nothing on the board to stop them from swinging in and killing us, which is why Nahiri's Resolve, even though it gives +1/+0 and haste, doesn't really belong in an aggro deck. It belongs in a control deck that can just take over the board, make sure our opponent does not pose a threat, and then just add to the amount of damage we can swing in with because of that buff later on in the game when we're finally trying to squeeze out the win. Now, there's a lot of moving parts in this deck, a lot of cool things going on. So obviously we're using the Nurturing Pixie, because for 1 mana we can bounce any artifact or creature we want back to our hand, replay it to get the value that is inevitably coming with all of these crazy artifacts that generate value off ETB, which we're playing so that we can use them with Nahiri's Resolve. So it is absolutely a Pixie deck, but it's the kind of cards we're playing that makes this deck really take a turn into a completely different direction. We're running 3-color 𝑀𝑎𝑟𝑑𝑢 here. So we're running 4 copies of Grim Bauble in black, a 1 black mana artifact that when it enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Obviously, this is good for bouncing with Pixie. It's really good for flickering every single turn with Nahiri's Resolve to give something -2/-2 at the beginning of our turn every turn. We can also sack it to get some value by surveilling, and then we just go completely ham in the 2-drop slot. So we've got 4 copies of Chainsaw. We can kill whatever we want, do 3 damage to any creature when we play it, and then it just sits there on the battlefield ready to be flickered or returned to our hand and recast with Pixie, or whatever we want to do. We're also running 4 copies of Barbed Batterfist specifically because it's an artifact that makes a 2/2 creature token for only 2 mana. So not only does this allow us to get a creature on board so that we can start swinging in and being aggressive if we're up against another control deck, we can also keep that token behind and use it as a blocker if we need to, while still flickering the Barbed Batterfist so that we keep getting value off the Batterfist every single turn. It makes another 2/2, and that absolutely matters. We're also running 3 copies of Tithing Blade, 3 copies of Spring-Loaded Sawblades, and just 1 Legion Extruder. So we have a ton of 2-drop artifacts that just kill things when they enter play, so that we can get maximum value off of Nahiri's Resolve, and we can get maximum value off our Pixie, always having something to return, to replay, to kill stuff, and it gets pretty crazy. In addition, we're running 4 copies of Charming Scoundrel. This is great because you can play it and make a treasure token so that you can get to your Nahiri's Resolve 1 turn sooner. You can play it on turn 4 instead of turn 5. But then we still have a body that can be flickered with the Nahiri's Resolve or be returned to our hand with the Pixie and recast. There's so much we can still do with the Scoundrel. Even if we're up against like an aggro deck or something, we can just hold this back as a chump blocker to buy us the time that we need to get out the rest of our removal and take out the rest of their board. And this deck's packing so much removal that we should be able to just constantly output that damage potential, hit our opponent's creatures, you know, make them sacrifice stuff to Tithing Blade, whatever the case may be, and just completely wipe their board pretty much every turn. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, we're running 4 Guardian of Ghirapur. Now, this is almost like another Pixie in this deck. The catch being you can't use it for enchantments, right? When this enters, you exile up to 1 other target creature or artifact you control, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So, normally with Pixie, you play Pixie for 1, you bounce a 1-drop, you replay the 1-drop. So you spent a total of 2 mana to re-trigger an ETB and have a 2/2 flyer. With this card, you're spending a total of 3 mana to re-trigger an ETB and getting a 3/3 flyer. So in a lot of ways, it's very comparable to Pixie. It just doesn't work on enchantments. But in this deck, where the focus is artifacts and to a lesser extent creatures, we can absolutely get away with it. And we've got some pretty aggressive lines with Guardian of Ghirapur as well, because we can do things like play the Barbed Batterfist on 2, make a 2/2 that's a 3/1 for now, and then on 3 play the Guardian of Ghirapur, flicker the Barbed Batterfist, and we have on turn 3 for only 3 mana, a 3/3 flyer, another 2/2 token. The original 2/2 token is still around, and one of them is equipped with the Barbed Batterfist, so that's a 3/1. So a 3/3 flyer, a 3/1, and a 2/2 on turn 3, only spending 2 cards, is pretty damn good. We're also going to run 1 copy of Zoraline because we have so many permanents that cost 3 or less in this deck. It's very easy to get some value off of Zoraline in the right situations. That being said, I don't want to go too over the top with Zoraline because we want to make sure we have as many artifacts to go wide with as possible. And that's because of some of the cards that we're running as cheeky one-offs. We're testing these out at the top end, the most notable of which is Demonic Junker, a 4/3 artifact vehicle for 1 black and 6, which seems like a lot, but it has affinity for artifacts. So with a deck like this, where all of our removal pieces are artifacts that just sit on the battlefield for the rest of the game, it's super easy to just control the board, control the board, control the board, until they finally drop a card that's maybe too big for us to kill with a lot of our damage dealing removal, or our -2/-2 style removal. And by then, we have enough artifacts that we've gone wide with that we can just cast a very cheap, maybe even only 1 mana Demonic Junker and kill their key piece of board presence, which can be absolutely devastating. And then it sits there on the battlefield as another artifact that we can flicker every turn with Nahiri's Resolve to kill something else. And then we just steamroll that value. We kill everything every turn. Nahiri's Resolve acts like almost like a board wipe when we have enough artifact pieces of removal to flicker with it. It's almost like a board wipe every turn, plus protect all of our creatures from board wipes and sorcery speed removal, plus give them all haste when they come back in and +1 attack. So it's like we can keep alpha striking every turn. Even the tokens we make with the Batterfists get that +1/+0 and haste. So Nahiri's Resolve, It works in so many cool ways. It helps us just control the board every single turn and then output an insane amount of damage every single turn as well once we get towards the later part of the game and we're ready to just close it out. So Demonic Junker, awesome. I have a feeling in future versions of this deck, this will probably go up to a 4 of, and I'm absolutely going to test that. But for this version of the brew, I wanted to just try a cheeky 1 of just to make sure it works. In addition to that, there's a couple other cards we're trying a cheeky 1 of. We've got one Boommobile, because this is a 4 mana 5/5 vehicle that crews for 2, and when it enters, you add 4 mana of any one color, but can only use it to activate abilities. And then it has an exhaust ability where you can pay 3 mana and X to deal X damage to any target and put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. So what you can do is when you play this, even if it's just on turn 4 and you have nothing really good to hit, you can still ping your opponent for 1 damage and put a counter on it. But where it starts to get really crazy is with the Nahiri's Resolve, because if we flicker this, it comes back into play at the beginning of our turn. We have all of our lands untapped, but it also gives us the 4 mana of any one color we want. So we have an absolute metric ton of mana that we can dump into the exhaust ability and just nuke whatever we need to nuke. And then we get to do that every turn. Literally every turn for the rest of the game. When we bounce the Boommobile with the Nahiri's Resolve, it resets the exhaust ability so it can be used again. So it just gets absolutely absurd with Nahiri's Resolve, and I have a feeling this card's another one that in the final version will probably go up to 3 or 4 copies because it's just that good. But in this version of the deck, we're trying out just the 1 of. And then the last card that we're trying out just 1 copy of is Coalstoke Gearhulk, a 5/4 artifact creature construct with Menace and Death Touch for 5 mana in the colors of Rakdos. When it enters, you get to put any creature with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it, and then you have to exile that creature at the end of turn. The reason the Gearhulk is so good in this deck is we can bring back one of our creatures, say the Guardian of Ghirapur, or the Zoraline, or the Pixie, or whatever we want. Even if it's just a Pixie and it's just a 1-drop, the reason it's so good is because it doesn't actually die in this deck. If we have a Nahiri's Resolve down, whatever we bring back with the Gearhulk ends up getting flickered by the Nahiri's Resolve, and it loses the finality counter, comes back in as a version that gets to stay forever, and triggers its ETB ability. Maybe that's the Guardian of Ghirapur's ability to flicker something else, or the Scoundrel's ability to make us a treasure token, or a wicked roll, or let us discard a draw, or whatever the case may be. We're generating that value off of Nahiri's Resolve while also using Nahiri's Resolve as a way to keep the thing we bring back with the Gearhulk forever. And as if that wasn't enough, we also get to flicker the Gearhulk itself so that we can keep bringing something back every single turn, and then keep everything that we bring back every single turn. So I absolutely had to try 1 copy of this as well. I think it's wild, and it's also worth noting that when this does come back, it's going to come back in and get +1/+0 and haste from the Nahiri's Resolve as well. So it ends up being a 6/4 Menace Death Touch haster every single turn. And you gotta remember, everything's exiled on their turn, so their sweepers won't work. They have nothing to Sunfall, right? They have nothing to kill with sorcery speed removal. They can only use their instant speed removal, and it just gets insane, guys. So this is the deck, and I have a version that I'm already working on, a version 2, I guess, of this deck, but I had to get this one out to you because even version 1 is just insane, was getting a ton of wins. I'm super proud of it, and I really think Pixie is back in a very, very different way, which is a good thing, because I'm getting really sick of the old version of Pixie, especially Esper. And I think this new version is a very, very fresh-feeling version of Pixie that absolutely has the staying power to take over games. So, without further ado, let's check out the games. We're going to keep this. This looks good. It's a little bit slow, but we have plenty of options. We're able to surveil on turn 1, dig closer to what we want. We've got removal, we've got board presence. We just have to survive to 5 mana, and we're probably good. We probably just win if we can survive until we drop 5 mana. Alright, so Parlor on 1. Sawblades. I think we have to get 1 turn closer to our 5th land. Anything we can do to get another turn closer to our 5th land is what we have to do. That helps. That helps a lot. We make a treasure. We swing in and offer the trade. With a little bit of luck, we can still kill it with Tithing Blade next turn. But if we can't, we can at least drop the Barbed Batterfist and have something that should be able to trade with it if he swings. At least for that 1 turn cycle. This will outpace things eventually. But probably not right away. Alright, we're going to go for Tithing Blade and see what he does. He's probably going to sack the Wormlet. He probably needs the elves. If he didn't, he wouldn't have played it. He has leftover mana even. So, my gut tells me he's got things in his hand that are too expensive. And he needs the elves. But we'll see. We'll see what he does. I really need a hug. No? Not funny enough? That's okay. I'll be here all week. We are not going to play the Batterfist. We're going to save that treasure so that next turn we get resolve. I am kind of surprised he sacked the elves, though. He clearly didn't have a 2-drop that he wanted to play that was more important. Well, this is going to be fun. Oh. Maybe we don't play the resolve yet. Maybe we do that. And then we do that. And we're not going to attack. And then next turn we play the resolve. Aether Spark, huh? We might have to double block that. Well, hold on. No matter what, he gets the counters, right? He goes up to 9. Which isn't enough for the mana. And it's only enough for him to draw cards once. The problem is we're not going to kill his thing on our next turn. We're going to flicker stuff to kill it the turn after. So I think we do have to trade with it. To buy us a turn. So he goes up to 9. I guess we will keep our treasure. Exile all of our boys. Do you have a haste guy? Because we get to do 3 damage and make you sack a creature. And make a dude that has haste. Salvager. Well then. Okay, so we make the token. We're going to kill the 3/3. And then he's going to have to sack something. Interesting. Interesting. Now we could attack the Aether Spark. And he's gonna have to trade with the Twitching Doll. No? Not gonna trade with the Twitching Doll. Wow. Okay, we are gonna keep this Cliffs, because I don't think we're gonna need the mana. But it is possible we get another Charming Scoundrel. And maybe we discard it to the Charming Scoundrel. So we'll exile all our stuff. The second one isn't completely a waste, because it does still buff our team an extra +1 power. Alright, everything comes back. What do we kill? Kill you. And then we Tithing Blade. We will thin out the deck here. Guess we probably want you. 4, 5, 6. Let me think. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna attack with this. Trade with this dude. Then, we're going to equip the chainsaw to the token. We're gonna end the turn. And we're only gonna flicker the Barbed Batterfist and the Tithing Blade. So now if he swings with his Overlord, we get to trade. Unless we make him waste one of his removal spells, which is also fine. And then our chainsaw is huge. Huge, huge, huge. And we get to swing with that next turn. He's thinking hard. He's thinking hard. He's got to make those insects, man. He's got to do it. We just need to top deck something. We just need an actual thing to play. If we had like 1 or 2 more cards instead of these lands. Oh boy. Alright. Sack something. Another counter on the chainsaw. Another land! Come on, man. Come on, man. Crazy. I mean, we're going to play one of them. We're going to keep one in our hand for sure, in case we get to discard it. Do we exile the chainsaw, is the question. We could just straight up win with a couple attacks from that chainsaw with how many counters it has. He's going to draw cards. He's going to play a lot of things. And so we're going to need to kill a lot of things. We got to exile them all. Which is a bummer, for sure. But he's drawing cards with the Aether Spark. Right, he's not attaching it to the Twitching Doll. And then he's jamming a bunch of creatures in play. Collector's Cage. Can't really utilize it yet, though. Swings in with a 3/3. Well, 3 damage. So unfortunately, we kind of wasted that. Bummer. I think we just hold on to the chainsaw, maybe. I mean, we'll attack the Aether Spark for sure. Get it down low enough that he can't draw. I mean, I guess we have the Nahiri's resolves, right? Screw it. We'll just get it out there. Maybe we don't. Yeah, you know what? Now that we have the other chainsaw, we'll leave the one that has a counter there. We'll leave it there. We should be able to just overwhelm them at this point. It would have been a lot quicker and more efficient if we actually drew cards, but it's fine. It's fine. See what you got, Uta. Uta. Can't swing with it though, it doesn't have haste. And it's gonna die. I guess he can use his Haywire Might to kill something. But we're still gonna get the triggers. He's also got a district mascot. I mean, he has to play it, right? Why didn't he play it? He could have played it and then used the cage. There's got to be something going on that we don't know about. So he's going to sack the Might in response, right? He didn't? What? Why? Okay, well, we'll take it. We will take it. This looks fine. We don't have our black yet, but that's fine. We have enough things to play. It shouldn't matter. In worst case scenario, we can use the treasure from the Charming Scoundrel. Pixie. Pixie looks good to me. I mean, how aggressive do we want to be? I think we just want to do this. Try and be as aggressive as possible. Doesn't have any creatures out yet. Shooting the sheriff. Sure. We will swing for one. We will Pixie. Return the Batterfist. Pass the turn. Alright, we're gonna Fabled Passage. Find the black source. As much as I'd love to cast the chainsaw, we're just gonna go Tithing Blade. And Batterfist. Hold on to the chainsaws for things that have smaller butts. I could have used the treasure to attach the Batterfist to the Pixie to get him for 1 more damage. Didn't really want to do it. Another Preacher. Alright, we're going to try a couple different things here. First, we're going to go Grim Bauble. Then, we're going to attack. Probably blocks the Scoundrel. Yeah. I guess I should have just chainsawed. It would have gotten through for 1 more damage. Do we move it this time? No, we'll keep it where it's at. Gaunty. And there's our boy. But do we need to kill Gaunty? Can we kill Gaunty? I guess we'll just go for it. He can only get 1 card at most, right? So we'll just do this. Swing in for 7. Put him at 4. And we're about to get an insane amount of value. Everything gets exiled. Token stays. The token stays. Ooh, he Maelstrom Pulsed. We still get everything back. It's just not going to have haste, and it's not going to get the buff, and we're not going to be able to exile anymore. I don't think it's going to matter, though. I'm really surprised he didn't attack with Gaunty first. Oh boy. We want to bounce. What do we want to bounce? I guess probably the Batterfist? 3. We'll make a Wicked Roll token attached to you. Yeah, that's nice. So we could swing for 3 here if we wanted to. If we could kill our own dude with our chainsaw, this chainsaw would go up to 2 counters, and then if we had 1 more mana left over, we could do some pretty cool stuff. We'll do this. We'll do this. Swing for 3. Now, if he kills the Charming Scoundrel, it's got the Wicked Roll token. He loses a life and we win. Even if he deals with our whole board here, if he's got board wipe, we can craft the Tithing Blade and still win. He dies to the Wicked Roll. Damn shame. Damn shame. Absolutely keeping this hand. Absolutely. Pass the turn. Probably just Charming Scoundrel, make a treasure. We draw into one more land, and we have a turn 4 resolve, which is amazing. There it is. There it is. Make the treasure. We'll swing in 1. End the turn. Next turn, we've got both Grim Bauble and Chainsaw if we want it. And we don't even need to. I mean, I kind of want to anyway because we have Resolve, but it doesn't make sense. Simulacrum Synthesizer. Can we beat out the Synthesizer? We're gonna find out. Alright, we will fetch. I guess we just want the mountain, right? Play the Nahiri's Resolve. Swing for 2. Flicker the Scoundrel. You no longer have sweepers, my friend. Not even temporary lockdowns can touch us. He's got a 3/3. We're gonna have to kill that real quick. We gotta kill everything, always. Everything, always, guys. Comes back. I guess we make a treasure this turn. Let's go with Batterfist. I guess we want to play it safe, right? Chainsaw. And we will end the turn. Flicker you, flicker you, flicker you. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. This is a work of art. Right here. Repurposing bay, sure. Make some boys. Three. Let's make a wicked roll. Because this is going to be dead, so that'll be a 4/4. Man, imagine if we had a Tithing Blade right now. We will Pixie. Look at how insane this is getting, guys. We will bounce the Batterfist. We will replay the Batterfist. Make another token. And then we'll take the Chainsaw. And we'll put the Chainsaw. We're only going to do an extra 1, right? Guess we'll put the Chainsaw here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll do that. Spring-Loaded Sawblades, so he'll kill one of them. Probably the Pixie. Which puts another counter on our chainsaw, so he probably has to block the chainsaw one. I guess he could go to 1. Oh, he miscalculated. The Wicked Roll dying is gonna make him lose a life, so we win. Let's go. Let's go. We'll keep this. We're gonna have to crack a Fabled Passage on 1 to find a red source. And we'll try to save the other Fabled Passage for turn 4. We'll try to. Probably just gonna kill the C-Note Scout here. Alright, Mountain. Verge. Just chainsaw it, try to slow him down. Do have 2 Spring-Loaded Sawblades. And a Llanowar Elf. He must have top decked. No, because this was top decked. Why did he play the C-Note Scout first? Curiouser. Alright, we're gonna find a swamp here. Actually, we have a lot of white in our hand. Let's find the plains. I think we're gonna hold up the Spring-Loaded Sawblades to kill something. I just don't know what yet. Warden. Saddle it. We don't want him to get the counter because he can destroy our chainsaw. Oh wait, it has to be tapped. I'm an idiot. We had to let it attack and then in response to the counter trigger we kill it. I jumped the gun a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Assume he removes the counters, kills the chainsaw, yeah. It is what it is. If we had been smarter about it, we could have still had our chainsaw. Unfortunately. Another elves. Pixie the elves? Interesting. And 1 card left in your hand. Well, we will Shadowy Backstreet. Boommobile with no second red. I guess we could Charming Scoundrel to make a treasure and save it. I really, really, really want to play Zoraline, though. Screw it, we're just going to play the Zoraline. It's a super effective blocker against the Nurturing Pixie. He's pretty much out of gas. We get to swing with Vigilance every turn. It's the perfect counter to his board state. Okay. He'll Reliquary the Zoraline. That's fine. He's down to, like, nothing, so... Can't Boommobile yet. But what we can do is make a treasure. Spring-Loaded Sawblades. and swing. We can Boommobile. We can also start to craft with the Sawblades. To any target. Is it better to just craft? Maybe. Just save everything else. Yeah, we'll just save the Boommobile in hand. We have no reason to play it. We have no need to. Sure, we could do a couple extra points to his head and get a big attacker online every turn. But we can get a big attacker online with this, so... whatever, man. We don't need to... Alright, so what we'll do is we will tap you and you. And then we will attack for 6. And then we will craft another one. Do I want to save the bauble? No, we'll craft it with the bauble. We've got another one coming, so we still have options. Whether to just sack the bauble or to craft it with the 3rd chariot. Just do it like that. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. This looks fine. We'll keep it. We'll Fabled Passage on 1 and use it to find a white source. Even though we don't need the white yet. I want to make sure we have it. Bandit's talent, huh? Don't think we're going to need all of our removal. I think we'll get rid of the Tithing Blade. Find the plains. Play the cliffs. Play the Barbed Batterfist. Next turn we've got Guardian of Ghirapur. Flickers the Batterfist, we get another token. So we're going super wide. He has to contend with our board state, not our hand, or it's over. It's over. And he is. That's fine. There we go. We flicker with the Guardian. We get another token, and we have a 3/3 flyer. Seems pretty good. 𝐿𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿. Well, this can only deal damage to a tapped creature, unfortunately. We do have 2 chainsaws. But we can't use them until next turn, at least not together. At least not together. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to put the Batterfist on the Guardian, and I'm going to swing in for 4. I'm going to try to bait him into attacking with the ℎ𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿, so I can Spring-Loaded Sawblades it. Still gonna block, in case he's got a trick or something. And if he does stop my Sawblades, we want to make sure we chump, for sure. Demonic Junker. Well, now we just do our thing. Boom. Both chainsaws get counters. Demonic Junker is only going to cost us 3 mana now. We swing for 6. We do have to be kind of careful about this Bandit's talent. Ooh, If we toss the Junker, we can't get it back. But we can get back the Tithing Blade. That's actually... It's actually a tricky call. I think we're going to toss the Junker. If we play out the Zoraline, we can't attack with it this turn. Six. I think it might just be better to do this. End the turn. This way we make the token creature at the end of his turn. So if he does have a sweeper, we still have a creature to attack with. And to equip with our chainsaws, which are getting very big. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Going for the throat or chainsaw triggers. Yeah, we have lethal just by equipping the chainsaw to the token we make next turn. So he's dead. He thinks he's got us, but because we flickered things the way we did, he is smoked, baby. Yeah. Wouldn't even let us attack. Bro wouldn't even let us attack. That's how I mean, we can keep this. I think since our opponent is on the play, there's a better chance we actually get to use the Sawblades on 2, and then on 3 play Ghirapur and flicker it. Maybe. Or maybe we just play Zoraline and we wait on the Ghirapur. Being on the draw, I think we definitely keep a 3-lander with a Spring-Loaded Sawblades. So we're going to keep it. It's all about flicker at the top end. Pass the turn. We're going to find a mountain. Actually, we should... Everything in our hand is white and black, which is kind of hilarious. But the deck is mainly red. I guess we probably want to turn on the Verge, right? Let's find a swamp. Pass the turn. We've got plenty of removal. What are we up against? Is this an Omniscience deck? Oculus. Okay. We can deal with Oculus. The one thing that does stink about Oculus is the fact that, oh! Oh! So sorry. Yeah, protection? Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Now, we could Ghirapur the Sawblades, but it's going to come back at the end of our turn, which feels kind of wasteful. I think we still do it, though. I think we still do it because we have another one and then another one. So we can Ghirapur the Ghirapur. Next turn. And time it so that the Sawblades comes back at the end of his turn. Which will be awesome. We're gonna do it. We are going to do it. Okay, so he's got his Oculuses. It is what it is. It is what it is. I really want to play the Scoundrel. So we can get that treasure and get that Nahiri's Resolve popping. But we're going to have to settle for killing one of the Oculuses. Holding up blockers that can double block and kill the other Oculus. Or singularly block his face down guys. I mean, he's already used up three of his spells. 100%. 100% we do that. 100%. I mean, the problem with Tithing Blade is it doesn't kill the Haughty Djinn. But I mean, we gotta try at some point, right? I think we put down the Zoraline so he can't attack with his 2/2s. And after he attacks with the Haughty Djinn, we can crack back with the Zoraline, gain a life back, and then it'll be tapped. We can Guardian the Spring-Loaded Sawblades to kill it. That's my thought. I mean, he could just kill the Zoraline and swing in for like 14 or something. Ooh, another Oculus. This bro's just not running out of recommissions and helping hands. He's just not, man. He's just not. Rough. I think that Haughty Djinn's gonna get us. Well, no, the Haughty Djinn won't get us. Goodbye, temporary lockdown. We're going to have to hold that up as a blocker. Sawblades comes back, kills the Djinn. We're eating through his value. We're getting there. Another Djinn. This dude just doesn't stop. He just never runs out of these fucking huge creatures or ways to just automatically get one. I can't believe how many he's been shitting out and how we just keep dealing with them. We keep finding ways, but he just doesn't stop. He never runs out of gas. I mean, we're gonna take the 6 for sure and make it so our Tithing Blade actually does something. Well, I guess it still won't, right? Hope you know I'm like a chainsaw. Don't have any flicker ability. If he blocks, we can chainsaw it. Problem is he ain't gonna block. So we gotta kill this. And then we gotta make him sack one of these. And then we gotta chump block the other one. I think we're gonna be a day late and a dollar short, guys. I think he's just gonna have one too many creatures. And it'll spell doom. Just one too many. Pixie. Freaking Pixie, bro. But I need 2 pixies. I need 2 pixies. Damn it. This dude just never runs out of gas, ever. Literally ever. Cut the shit, bro. Oh, he didn't attack. Alright, we finally have the mana for Nahiri's Resolve. And it doesn't matter. We can't use it. Unbelievable. We have to play the Zoraline. Which leaves us no mana for anything else. What's up, Sean? He's only got 21 cards in his deck. Yeah, we don't have a choice. We have to do this. It's actually better for us. He does less damage now. Because that's the card we're not going to block. That was a mistake on his part. Oh, he wins anyway. Damn, man. We just couldn't eat through all of the gas. That dude got so lucky. He just kept getting all of the right cards over and over and over again. Crazy. This looks good. Actually, we don't have the white, do we? Why do we keep getting all of our white cards and no white mana every single time? We'll mulligan. We don't even have a lot of white cards in this deck. It's kind of a splash. Put back the Fabled Passage. Start with the Cliffs. Pass the turn. Actually, maybe we should have started with the Fabled Passage. Alright, Inspiring Vantage. We'll make a treasure. And we'll swing. End the turn. See what you got, friend. Nothing? You got nothing for me? Moment of truth. Alright. I'm here for it. Probably just make another treasure. case we top deck a resolve. End the turn. Surveilling 1. My turn. Don't really have anything we can play. We could play the Zoraline. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to. I think we should make sure we get something back when we play it. Because it probably just eats removal. So we'll just pass. Picklock Prankster. Okay. That's got Vigilance, so we can't hit it with the Sawblades. Kind of a bummer. That's okay, though. We'll kill it next turn. Oh, right. He just cast the Adventure anyway. So it doesn't even matter. You can counter something unless we pay 4. Alright. We are going to search for, I think, black. We do have more black in play. Tithing Blade, huh? Well, we'll swing. We'll see if he's got any tricks for us. Pass the turn. I'll just kill you with Scoundrels, dude. Like, I'm not worried about it. The only thing that really matters is we have to make sure he's tapped out when we cast Nahiri's Resolve. So if he counters that, we're going to have a problem. But if that gets through, we're good, man. Chart a course. Another land. So I guess we're gonna want a Tithing Blade so that we can get through, which is fine. And we'll just swing for 2 more. We'll keep swinging for 2, bro. We've got all the removal in the world we can just lean on. It's fine. 5-ish turn clock. We can also just craft the Tithing Blade if we want. Just sit back on that. An Omniscience, that's a 3/3 flying spirit. Wow. So does he just go off and win now? Probably. What happened? I don't even know what happened. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.